So guys, to start it off, an incredible piece of news for myself, as I have been chosen for the United States FA's side for the World Cup. That is right, I have now chosen against representing Russia, as my country clearly values me enough to go as selected. So yes, welcome to this. But this is going to be a different kind of episode. So, as you know, obviously simulated towards the final game, and the final game is going to be against Hoffenheim in the DFB POKAL final. So, I want to do something different this time. So, basically, I'm going to be doing a live thing. It's going to be a full game worth, and I'm going to be just critiquing the game, talking about it, because obviously I played the game a ton early on, how it compares to the previous FIFAs. So, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy this. Long term, I'd like to do Q&A live, but obviously I didn't receive enough questions, so I didn't really think that'd be worthwhile to do. Regardless, though, yeah, obviously I don't really get control who we get picked against, but I'm going to be playing a 6-minute game, obviously, as this is the final, and the good luck jersey usually is the green one, so yeah, this time it's going to be a 6-minute game, and yeah, hoping we can do pretty well for ourselves. This would be a great opportunity to get into the final, show what we can do, and then go from there. So yeah, in terms of game modes, obviously, I feel like a very relevant one to start off with, given of course that this is a my player crew mode itself, is of course the my player crew mode. However, to put it simply, we should be focusing on the game at least just to start off. So yeah, as the Oregon Hazard goes on, it's time for us to get ready, and yeah, the build-up to the game isn't really too different than the usual per se, and that's also probably one of the critiques I'd have to say in terms of a player crew mode. Just, I've honestly found that it feels like EA kind of forgot this game mode ever existed. Like, career mode, at least they change where teams would represent different tactics, but you hear nothing talking about this, of course, kind of career mode, and it's quite disappointing in all truth. Yeah, admittedly, our run to the final was very, very good, and couldn't be more pleased to get to there. Of course, we're playing in our 4-4-2 for this game, and also another point I want to make about the AI for this, in terms of managerial, is the fact that you very, very rarely see the manager change formation at all, or positioning, because I played as a cam, and that was where I was playing before I came to Mönchengladbach, but I had a bit of a hard time the first couple games, and then manager never changed. I eventually adjusted, but I never really feel comfortable there. Like, I like playing as a cam, and I hate being punished by the rating to play where I feel comfortable in. But yeah, also, in all honesty, the prevalence of 5 in the back formations. There's too many teams play that, literally. Like, I understand it's a tactic, but it feels like everybody is playing it. Like, 3 in the back, 4, sure, but I don't know, 5. I understand sometimes, but it feels like it's way too prevalent. If you go back and watch through videos I've done, it can be quite frustrating. But yeah, of course, as we move into this, any points, I'd say comparatively to FIFA 17, that's one of the things I usually like, that I want to do in this episode at least, is talk about that. And oh, wow, that was a good chance for them. But yeah, one thing I want to talk about is the difference between that and the previous game, and that's the problem. I don't see a difference between it. Like, I tried it for a little bit in the last game, and there's just nothing really there. And like, I'm not sure why anybody would want to. Oh, come on! Also, another thing I need to talk about: the AI that play the game. Like, the phrase "you're dumb" literally encapsulates this AI perfectly. Okay, Koros whipped in, headed. Like, sometimes just the plain stupidity. Chance shot taken! Aw, I took that too early. But yeah, no, honestly, I find in a lot of games, opportunities are severely limited. Like, sometimes my team can't pass through the midfield, and it's just kind of like, what are you even doing? Okay, probably not the best decision for me there. But yeah, admittedly, one of the things I find weird is, all honesty, I find the AI in my player are actually a lot better at defending than in normal career mode, because they'll just get split open. But here, like, they're really stout. So that is one thing I have to give kudos to EAN. The defenders are actually pretty smart in this game, but just don't bother hoping for any good passes from them. But yeah, when I talk about AI, also I would find that it doesn't feel any different really playing between a Bayern Munich and a Stuttgart in this league. And it feels like with Bayern you should feel sometimes as a forward just overawed, but a lot of the times I find it's not that different. Okay, now it's a chance here. Oh jeez. That's bad for me. But yeah, it's just like Bayern Munich, like, they feel fast. I mean, they can score nice goals. Like, the AI, they get offensively better as they have a better team, but other than that, I mean, it's kind of not really too much. Sends it through now. Oh, that was a good chance. And yeah, I feel like that's really all I can talk about in my player. Except, in all truth, I feel like it's necessary to probably talk about player transfers or loans. It's really frustrating how the managers will tend to reject your loan or transfer applications half the time. Because obviously in the first season of this, I requested a transfer from LA Galaxy, I believe it was, and it took me like basically 2 windows to get a request for the transfer to be accepted. And it just feels like the player, you can't do anything. You can't talk to your management, which is really frustrating. Because sometimes you almost wish it would be like a little bit more realistic, where you could talk to somebody and voice your displeasure, because sometimes the AI are not smart at all. Admittedly, that wasn't the brightest move from me there, but come on, now it's gonna be sent in. Oh, he's offside. But yeah, regardless, that is it. That is it for personally my talk about my player. And something that I've played even more frequently would be the actual career mode. And yeah, in terms of career mode, I would say they really promised the AI change teams and like how they play relative to each other, but I just don't see that. And it's kind of frustrating, because I was kind of hoping for a little bit more there. Oh, good chance here. Come on. Sends it through. Shot taken in. Goal! It's into the back of the net. We get the lead. 28 minutes in. I do not know what the keeper was even playing at. Must have been screened, because there's really no excuses for that going in. And yeah, we take the lead. As I mentioned before, they are decent at shooting, I must admit, but yeah, it's a good goal though. It's a great passing play, and honestly, I find with my player, the only way to really get around your kind of dumb AI team. Oh my god, that's such a bad goal let in. Holy jeez, what is he even playing at? Poor from him at best. And we do take the lead. Definitely pleased about that, but kind of wondering what the keeper's doing. Absolute shocker for the keeper, and admittedly, you expect more from them, so yeah. So now, after prolonged talk about my player, because I feel like it's relevant at the same time, we are going to be moving on to career mode, which is the mode that dies off only slightly slower than foot, because signing Mbappe 10 times in your 2 career modes gets boring at a certain point, and loan players like Naby Keita and Mbappe are 2 examples, right? Because they're on loan at are on loan. Like Naby Keita, they have an agreement for next year, but that should be like there's like almost I feel like a lack of like realism. Like obviously there is, and I feel like sometimes it's too realistic, but when a player is going to be signing for another club next year, you shouldn't be able to sign them, because the game AI has no idea that Naby Keita, for example, should be automatically transferred to Liverpool in the next summer, or for example that Mbappe, right, he's going to go to PSG because they paid the fee in real life. So that's one of the things I do wonder, because it's kind of like, why are you talk about realism all the time, yet you're not including proper transfers of players, so it's a little bit, oh my god, that's awful pass. But yeah, that's a little bit interesting. But one of the things I would also like to talk about, overall, I feel like it's the death of the RTG. Because I feel like it's starting to come back into vogue a little bit. Oh, come on, that was a bit selfish. Shot taken again! Ooh, okay, we got a corner. But, like, I remember as someone who loved crew mode, like watching Docs' FIFA 13, like 270 up term, that moving teams, that was one of the most fun parts about crew mode, at least, as someone who viewed it, because it felt like it was always something new. And it feels like that's almost lacking a bit right now. Okay, we earned ourselves another corner here. But, yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's almost a culture of a lack of change with crew mode from EA, but to a certain degree also just, unfortunately, therefore, a lack of long-term interest. And that's one of the things I hope can be revived as someone who also does an actual crew mode, is the RTG genre, because it's one of the most fun ones to do, and it feels like you have too much money in these career modes. So basically, when you're playing them as Swansea, you should not have £39 million to start off with. And it feels like young players, like that obvious potential, cheaper to get, great for those sort of teams, but the thing is, they shouldn't be that cheap. Because FIFA 15, I remember Docs was always talking about how they're way too expensive, but in all truth, I just found that it was still fun because it meant like you had to pay a premium. Like, if you were like, say, FIFA 12 or like FIFA, if Neymar was like, say, for example, 85 overall and like potentially be 91, right? You'd probably still have to pay like only 40 million for him. Where like in FIFA 15 you'd have to pay like around, let's say, like now in FIFA 15 you have to pay like 90 to 100 million. And I feel like that aspect, like, younger players are really undervalued. So obviously it is beneficial for obviously what I've been doing, but at the same time it's kind of like, really man, oh, how's that a foul? Come on, referee. But yeah, I feel like that's really an underlooked aspect at it, because if young players are cheap, then therefore the crew mode is going to go quicker. Honestly, I feel like if you increase the price of younger players, you're also gonna see more people using the youth teams, which is obviously, I would say, something that's not bad personally. And also my crew was, I would actually like to be forced a little more, but because young players are so cheap, it's kind of like, why would you bother? Come on! Oh no! I've not made some good decisions in this game, really. Like, I've come close a few times, but it's just kind of like I got the assist for the goal, and that's really it. Alright, I was just gonna fire it off here. Again, I'm just giving it away so many times. Like, I'm just not. Admittedly, this hasn't been one of my best games, but it could be a break here, and this could be real trouble for us. I'm just gonna try to help out defensively, in all truth. Okay, now we're covering away. I can actually get back, so. Yeah, also it feels like you're punished for actually trying to track back, which is extremely dumb. Come on now. It's through. Start taking from range. Oh, good save. Oh, I should have gotten more power in that. Oh, that's such a good chance. It's going to be whipped in here. What a chance! In no way, shape, or form is that a bad cross. And that's the thing also, it feels like the AI, their judgment of this is quite poor, at least for my player. So, yeah, but getting back to crew mode, other than that, I mean, I can't really give it too many criticisms, because obviously it is an overall limited mode. Should I take it in? Oh, what a save by Bauman! Should I take it off the crossbar? Wow! We've really been putting pressure on them, but we gotta kill them off before it's too late, because if we can get something now, it's gonna be so huge. But now it's gonna be sent in there. Should I take it from range? Oh! Oh, what an incredible goal! That's absolutely beautiful! It's a stunning goal, and that really should be kicking off the final there. Just really one of my first clear opportunities of the match. And what an absolute shebang of a strike there. One thing I do have to give credit for, and this isn't even like a career mode particular thing, but the multi-view angle on some of those nicer goals is quite something. Just take a look at this strike. That is just a laser into the top corner, and also, yeah, it feels like it's crazy, honestly, how I've gone from a 70 rated player to an 81 rated player in a year and a half. That's the thing that's weird for me. And I know I've probably been jumping between the two, but it feels like I need to bring out the point. You shouldn't be able to grow friggin' 10 ratings in a season and a half. Like, it's fun and all, but it's like, why? It's through now. Oh, come on! I thought I'd mess up the AI there, but yeah. As I said before, their defensive abilities come into retrospect. And yeah, I think career mode, that's done for now, and time to move into the last mode I really have any plans talking about. And that would be Ultimate Team. Probably the most controversial mode by far. So, yeah, Ultimate Team obviously brought in as a DLC originally, I think in FIFA 10 or 11. And quite a novel idea, but the bane of Ultimate Team, packs. Yep, those things I don't understand. Like, it's one of those things where you almost feel like, how is this actually legal? Because, in all honesty, you're practically being robbed by EA. If you think about it, it's just basically an electronic form of gambling, which really shouldn't be encouraged in, like, young kids, because you already do stupid enough stuff. Oh, come on. I already do stupid enough stuff. Like, as I would know, like, when I was, like, maybe 13, 14, I'd spend much money on packs. I don't exactly have, like mansion millionaire parents, but at the same time, like, you can quickly spend a good amount of FIFA points. And, yeah, first of all, they cost way too much to be actually worth what they are advertised for. But in addition, oh, come on! Wow, I was trying to chip the keeper. The packs are just also really just set up, and just, I feel as if there's almost they're playing with the packs. Sometimes you'll get good packs, and sometimes almost they don't really want you to, but that's a little bit more, I'd say, opinionated, so I'll stick it off from there. And one thing that I can talk about, and pretty justifiably, is the controversy that's generated by FUT champs. You know things are getting bad when even pro players are giving you crap for a game and actually quitting, when half the time their livelihood could depend on it. Come on, send it through. This should be the game! Oh, what a clearance there! Oh man, we're really getting close to killing this game off, but it's punched away now. And yeah, also, yeah, in terms of gameplay, and obviously FUT champs is probably the most talked about thing. It's gone back to FIFA 14. Like, literally, it's Theo Walcott and Aubameyang are the best players in this game. Bin off friggin' man, just bin off any striker with less than 80 pace. Like, it's nuts. Oh, come on. Send it through there. You mongtard! You absolute mongtard. Literally, this guy didn't pass me. I had a clear break. You don't take a touch when I'm that open, man. But, yeah, regardless, obviously, the next thing I'd like to talk about is, in terms of FUT champs, I mean, I don't play it too much, so I'm not really as knowledgeable about it, but obviously people in the community don't like it too much, so I think I'll leave it there. And, yeah, okay, there we go. That is it. We have won the DFB POKAL in the final, and it's a fantastic way to end off the season in our club team. So yeah, what a key victory for there. This is definitely a redeeming feature of our season. Honestly, winning it is absolutely huge for us and a great way to end it off. But yeah, in terms of in general, even just divisions, is, to put it simply, price caps. Obviously, it's old news, FIFA 15, but it's just trading dies because of it. Like, it's really hard to trade. Like, I built myself up a decent amount, but unless you're like following a top trading YouTuber or something like that, you're hopeless. Like their prizes just crash randomly, and it's quite an interesting piece of work to be on sometimes. Not even forgetting the freaking gameplay. But regardless, though, it's time for Christoph Kramer to lift the DFB POKAL. And what a key moment this is. I don't think anybody at Mönchengladbach expected us to even get close to winning a trophy this season, but we have. We finished third in the Bundesliga and win the DFB POKAL, so that is a fantastic season. And yeah, like I said before, I am very pleased. But in terms of foot also, SBCs. SBCs I find are really underwhelming this year. Like the Halloween SBC, I lost a couple of 10,000, 15,000 coins. Literally nothing happened. Like literally nothing happened. Like it's been okay. And also, even the choice of icon SBCs, I'm not a particular fan of in all truth, because it feels too easy to get an icon. Like it's one of those things you feel like you have to build up long term to get it, where these icons, like you get lucky players, like I don't know, I'm just not a particular fan of the icons of SBCs. I feel like you lose a little bit value of them because they're so easily accessible. But regardless, though, we'll shift away from foot, and it's time to take the team photo, as we have officially won it. This is right. This is the real life. It is indeed reality, and we have managed to win it. So, yeah, obviously, talking a little bit more about SBCs. Last year, comparatively, was a really, really good one. There's a lot of good players available. Like I remember, like at the end of the year, they'd have like the Legend SBCs, like the Legend of the Games SBCs. Like I remember, like 94 Steven Gerrard was available for Like I think it was 95 Philip Lahm. So it was quite something. Like those were the days for the SBCs. Now it's just you're just kind of hoping for them, and then you're pretty much just using the hype for them to trade into it. So. Yeah, I did forget to actually talk about career mode comparatively last year. It's a bit better. I do like the transfer hub. The scouting's pretty decent, but it feels too similar. It feels like FIFA 17 career mode transplanted onto the FIFA 18 game. So, yeah, I'm not a particular fan of it, but of course I do it, and mainly I do it for YouTube in all truth. But yeah, in all honesty, that's really it. So if we want to take a look now just in terms of our stats for the season. So at the moment for this year, obviously in our basically first half of our career, we were able to get 13 goals and 9 assists, which is quite something for us in all truth. That was a very, very excellent first half, and I felt dominant then. Admittedly, I was playing against a bunch of scrubs in the MLS, but, you know. And in terms of the season for here, what a season it is. We drew 5, lost 4. Obviously, I played in 29. I think I might have missed 2 or 3 games. But, yeah, it was alrighty. It was alright. Not my favorite team to play with, but it was perfectly alright, and a pretty good 8.0 match rating. But yeah, main thing, of course, 24 goals, 4 assists. What an incredible season there. And in terms of the career, in 46 appearances, 37 goals, 13 assists. I'll say I know it is quite interesting to obviously start in January because it feels weird in terms of the season stuff, but at the same time, it works out, and that should be fine. Either way, though, I do want to apologize if this is a bit rambly, but I just want to try something different. Obviously, do something special for the final. Like this sort of analysis stuff is kind of fun for me, and a kind of way to spice it up as a bit of an interesting change for the final. But to show you guys off for the episode, of course, we are in a group now with the England national team, the Czech national team, and Uruguay. Wow, okay, that's gonna be brutal for us to even get out of. So, yeah, and then you look at here, France, Norway, Australia, and Colombia. Come on, come on. We could easily make it out of that group, but this, I mean, England may just flop like usual, but even the Czechs are good, and Uruguay I think will finish top. But I think we could do well for ourselves and get that second spot. Regardless, though, I want to thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys later. Peace!